So this is a bit embarrassing. This video is a re-upload of the video I posted earlier today, and the main reason with that is because I got one of my facts mixed up. I apologise to the Project Contingency team for this. I got a piece of information mixed up between the Installation 01 guys and the Project Contingency guys. So I've amended this, and I'm now re-uploading the video, so if you've seen it today, you probably don't need to watch it again, unless you for some reason really want to, and that's cool. But other than that, enjoy. So it has been a while. A good couple of weeks, in fact. And during those weeks, I have gone through many problems, one of which being the god-awful upload speed in my current place of residence, my parents' place. And another being the drought of fan game news recently. For those of you that didn't watch it on Twitch, the Project Contingency guys were on the Podtacular podcast this week. That will be up on Friday, though because I watched it live, I do have the audio. I'm not going to post it, I will leave a link in the description to the podcast once it is available. But they went through some pretty interesting topics. So, the same as the Installation 01 podcast, I am going to break it up into some of the more interesting and more prominent topics that went on. And I will try and compare a few between the Project Contingency podcast and the Installation 01 one. During my small period of absence, we also broke 1,100 subscribers. We went from 1,000 to 1,100 without me even uploading a video, so for those of you new subs, I apologise and you are awesome. And hopefully this will help bring back some more content. And the first topic I'm going to cover is mod support. Now, a lot of people weren't happy with the Installation 01 mod support video, going, well, the legal aspects aren't really that important, and I think that this response will show that they are. The Project Contingency guys have echoed the same sentiment as the Installation 01 team, saying that they don't want to include mod support because people could rip and reverse engineer assets from Halo games that are owned and created by 343 or Bungie, and put them into the game, and that causes a fair few legal problems, and is most certainly in violation of the game content usage rules. So unfortunately it doesn't look like we're going to see mod support in either of the two main multiplayer Halo fan games, though we can of course hope that their Forge and custom games and their user-generated content systems are robust enough and feature-rich enough to allow us to create just about anything we want. This being said, the Project Contingency guys haven't talked in detail yet about Forge, but it would make sense for them to include a feature such as this, as it is a staple in the Halo series. I've also firsthand had a chance to look at some, not all, but some of the custom game options, and I think you guys will enjoy those. So all in all, it's shaping up to be a pretty decent system for user-generated content. And while of course mod support would be fantastic, or perhaps a branch of the Unreal Engine project, of course they're not going to allow us to access the blueprints, the code and things like that, but even just being able to use Unreal's default level editor for something like Forge, or to have, say, access to an editor that already has prefab blocks and bits and bobs and assets to place in maps, as at least to me the Unreal editor is a fantastic tool for both level design and asset placement. Now this is probably just me being biased because Unreal Engine is what I use day to day, so those of you who prefer Unity's editor, it probably wouldn't happen with something like Project Contingency, as of course the game is being developed in Unreal Engine, but having a more fully featured level editor to me would make it a lot more enticing and a lot easier to create your content. Now of course along with these, a file share system or a file browser of some sort is pretty much mandatory for sharing your content around. Now they haven't confirmed that there will be one included, but it does make a lot of sense to include it in some way, shape or form, otherwise the sharing of custom content is going to be very, very limited. And as we've seen with Halo games since Halo 3, user-generated content makes up a very, very large portion of the game's content post-release. And with the ability to suggest props and things to the developers for them to make, so they can make sure the quality of the content is good and that it's not violating the rules, hopefully that will produce a fantastic user-generated content system. I'm pretty sure there are going to be a fair few people in the comment section that are unhappy with this. People have been dying for mod support in one of these fan games, but it does make a lot of legal sense why it won't happen. If you have any other comments, let me know in the comment section down below, and remember, stay classy.